Welcome back to the Lethally Stupid podcast, where Dyson and I are going to talk about something we maybe disagree on again.
Yeah, because we couldn't really think of anything last time, so...
Yeah, they all came to me after the episode, though.
Yes.
I was like, oh, yeah, there's this, and this, and that thing.
Yeah, because I think you said, like, oh, yeah, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And then I told you at Magic Night one night, like, Avatar.
Yes, Avatar, yep, so...
So we both thought of something, at least, yeah.
Yeah, to clarify, we both like, Avatar The Last Airbender. It's just that... and I do, I guess for clarification's sake, believe that like the original Avatar series is probably better written, like they had better overall characters, the percentage characters.
Right.
But I'm of the opinion that Korra was a better Avatar than Aang.
Yeah, and I liked Legend of Korra also, but I'm under the argument that Aang was the better Avatar.
Yeah.
But it's more...
Yeah, it's
for
just...
me, I think it's just which character we probably... I mean...
Yeah.
I like Aang more. Korra did do a lot of awesome stuff, and she is a great Avatar.
What makes you prefer Aang to Korra?
Prefer Aang? I probably prefer Aang. I like that he's an airbender. I think their like history and their kind of teachings and stuff like that were interesting.
Okay.
So I just like his personality better. And then I like how he decided to really go into the Avatar stuff in the way of, okay, I'm not going to just kill people. I'm going to I'm going to do it in a peaceful way. Mm-hmm. Which that's more Airbender-like. But it was still a cool thing to do as the Avatar. Just be like, all right, I'm going to use my Avatar abilities to do something different from just using all the fucking elements at once to just wreck shit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end things peacefully with the Avatar abilities, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, there is an argument to be made, I suppose, that's why the world is the way it is in Korra, why they kept moving forward.
Yes.
Because instead of, killing the opposing dictator, ruler, whatever, you find a way to end it peacefully. Of course, I don't know that it's really, fundamentally any different. You're still taking him out of commission.
Yes.
So I guess it's all about the message it's sending to the people at that point.
Right. And then, with Korra, there's the whole... She did a lot of the spirit world stuff. She did a lot of spirit world stuff. Mm-hmm. And in that regard, I can see the argument that she was a better Avatar because she lost her connection with all the previous Avatars, and she's now the beginning of a new cycle.
Yeah. So technically, she'll eventually be a progenitor Avatar if the cycle continues.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So which will be cool, and I do like that. But I also don't like crap, now they don't have all the other avatars to...
Yeah, because Korra doesn't have the avatar state to rely on or anything.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So, but I'm under the assumption that it is going to be she's the new first avatar. Mm-hmm. It's like, there was this cycle of avatars, but then some shit happened. So now we have Korra, and then they are wanting to do a new series where it's going to be an Earthbender who is the next Avatar. So
that would be pretty great because Kyoshi was badass.
And they have said they are making a new series that is the adult versions of Aang and that group.
Okay.
So they're making that, which I'm stoked for.
Definitely decided to see excited to see adult Sokka.
Yes, mainly Sokka, and also how many women does he have children with?
I mean,
I'm assuming a bunch.
Yeah, it's got to be a few.
I mean, there's theories of Toph, her kid is Sokka's kid.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if that's true, but
it might be a little weird considering the relationship they had initially, but
yeah. I mean, she definitely had a crush on him. Whenever she gets saved in the water, and then she's like, "Oh, Sokka, you saved me." It's like, yeah, I'm not Sokka.
Yeah.
And then she's embarrassed. So, but hey, he's got that riz.
He does.
He has a girl in every arc.
Yeah, he's usually the only one too.
Yeah, exactly. So. Not till the end that Aang finally, and Korra, or not Korra, Katara finally.
Which
get together.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of.
I thought it was weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she didn't really think of him that way. I don't know. She saw him as a kid most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he grew up, but their relationship was still. I always thought it should have been Zuko after the episode where they go off to get vengeance together. And
yes. Yeah. That would have been a great pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have made a better pair for sure.
And imagine the kids, the power. Those two are incredibly powerful benders in the universe.
Yeah, whichever bending power they ended up getting, they would have been great at it.
Yeah.
I do like Avatar.
Well, and lightning bending would have come so naturally to them too, because in the show it uses water bending techniques.
Yeah,
so.
that is also true. Oh, that would have been so nuts.
They would have been like perfect little lightning benders.
Because Zuko's sister, she was fucking insane with it.
She was.
I wonder what happened to her. I'm assuming we'll see more in the new series.
Oh, yeah. I always liked Azula.
I love Azula.
She's definitely the toxic choice.
Also, the Blue Fire was awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I hope that she wasn't just thrown away for life. Like, I hope there's some kind of redemption arc for her.
Yeah, an Azula redemption arc would be good.
It would be good. She can still have the personality of, like, just an absolute asshole.
Yeah.
And still have a redemption arc. And still,
okay,
I'm not going to just, kill and be like, Fire Nation, take over everything anymore. But... fuck you.
Exactly. And she was, she's a horrible, evil character in the context of Avatar, but Avatar is still a show primarily targeted to children.
Yes, exactly.
So the worst thing she's ever done pretty much amount to, killing people.
Yeah, which she did because she was trying to please her father.
Yeah, her psychopath father.
Yeah, so hers was brought up by someone else entirely. If she was not ever under his wing ever, then I don't think she would have been that kind of character.
She could have been raised differently.
Yeah,
so.
she would have probably still been a bitch, but I don't think she would have just been like, I'm going to kill all these people for my dad, so I'm the next Fire Emperor. Like, maybe you don't do that.
Yeah.
But I do like Airbender more just because of the characters is the main reason.
Okay.
Because the more that I... because now I've read through the Avatar stuff. I haven't just watched both shows. Now I've read the comics or whatever for not all of them. I've read most of them, but not all of them. And Korra is an awesome Avatar. So as time goes, I'm like, well, yeah, maybe she is the better Avatar, but...
Well, and so my whole perspective on that is, I see where people are coming from, and whereas Aang had a lot to overcome being as young as he was.
Yeah.
But ultimately he did run away, and that's part of what started the problem, like that long period of, oppression that the Fire Nation was able to, set upon the world was because he vanished.
Yeah,
so.
But you can also put blame on the... former Avatar, Fire guy,
Roku, right?
Because he even apologized and like, this kind of happened because of me, because I didn't do what I needed to do. So I'd throw it at them equally, like.
Yeah, well, and all the avatars kind of share a connected responsibility. It's an inherited role.
Yeah, and Aang running away also is the other
it's like
half.
That is your fault.
It's like it's a 50-50 thing. You should have done more to stop shit, and you shouldn't have run away, Aang.
Yeah, or they could have, because he was trying to run away from it all. I would have understood if he was like being escorted away to be trained in secret, and then they got attacked.
And normally, when avatars had to do things, they weren't as young as Aang. They were, because how old is he? Like 10 or 11 during?
I think he's 11 when the series starts.
And he's 12 by the end. I think. 112.
Yeah,
but mentally and physically 12. So I would think that because I really haven't heard of any other avatars having to deal with shit like he did whenever he was younger.
Yeah.
Because like Kyoshi, she was an adult when she was just wrecking everybody.
Yeah.
Her advice to Aang was like, kill the motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, that was the advice of all of them. Even the Airbender.
Yeah, that's true.
The Airbender told him, it's like, it's not really about you and your beliefs, and that was Aang's argument the whole time. It's like, no, I can't do this thing that everyone's telling me to do.
It's like, but you're also the Avatar.
It's like, you're not an air nomad
anymore.
Korra
was, in that sense, a better Avatar, because she was just like, I'm the Avatar, I gotta do Avatar things.
Yeah.
It's like, she might have listened to Aang whenever she talked to Aang, like, oh yeah, I tried to do things peacefully. She's like, well, okay, maybe I'll try. If that don't work, I'm gonna fuck shit up. And she ended up doing that. So, then there were some things she resolved peacefully.
Well, and also the existence of the world they have, it's a little different insofar as the world is more peaceful in a weird way.
Yeah.
But she has a lot to contend with because there's like the issues of popularity and stuff. Like Aang
Yes.
had most people, unless they were scared of the Avatar being there because of drawing attention to the Fire Nation, were in support of the Avatar coming back.
Because there's still the 4 nations, but then they have like that capital city, which is pretty much its own nation that like, everyone can live at, which just adds in. Like, sure, it's a more peaceful world, but it adds in more discourse because now you have all these different groups of people living together, and human nature is to just be fucking assholes to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, for some, and then
it only takes a few people to really throw the whole thing out of whack.
It does, yeah. Like they say, a few bad apples, and those few bad apples, they fuck everything over. So yeah, she had to deal with the people who were anti-Bender, like all these terrorist groups and stuff like that. And gonna deal with that. He was dealing with one nation trying to take over the world, which on like from one point of view it's like, oh shit, that's scary, a whole nation's trying to take over everyone, and they're powerful benders because like a water bender needs water somewhere, an earth bender needs the earth somewhere. The only 2 bender types that just
don't need their
element really. Well, I mean,
I guess
airbenders do. That's just there's air all around, so it's not a big deal. A firebender just produces the flame out of nothing.
Have they ever shown whether or not a firebender could produce flame in like a vacuum though?
I think they still need oxygen. So I think there's just still like air bending. They need air. They need all the things that would make fire happen. They need it there, but they can make it happen themselves instead of like making a spark or something.
You don't have to have an initial flame to get going.
Yeah, because it's not like not everyone in the Fire Nation is a bender. It's only benders can make it happen. It's just something about them, about their spirit that causes the spark in the air, pretty much. Yeah. And then they can do that stuff. And same with like lightning.
Yeah. I mean, I guess now we know with Korra, it being a genetic thing, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. Because, Aang and Katara's children, like, they think they have one kid who isn't a bender, and then he eventually finds out, like, oh, shit, I'm an airbender. Yeah. And they only have one water bender out of their daughter?
Their daughter.
They had 2 airbenders and 1 water bender, which I only remember...
Yeah. Tenzin is the airbender, the one that was an airbender all along.
He's the youngest also.
Yeah, and Boomy is the oldest.
Boomy's the oldest,
who I think is Boomy's kid, not Aang's.
I mean, the way he acts, and of course being named after him, but...
And he also looks a lot like Boomy.
And
you saw Boomy, he was incredibly... There's no way he didn't live like another 10 or 15 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no way he didn't. Which I'm also excited for in the next series. Like, I want to see... more Boomy and then like who succeeds him, because I'm assuming he does. I mean, he lived a long time, but he definitely has to pass away at some point.
I mean, he was like what 100. I know he was like the same age as Aang.
He was. Yeah, he was just that.
Yeah.
He was that age physically also.
Yeah. Well, and super shredded for some reason.
Also a fucking powerful earthbender.
Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't he just get like his face loose and then start wrecking everyone? Or no, he didn't even get it loose. They just thought that if they had everything but his head immobilized, then he would be fine. And he just realized he was biding his time. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, all I need is my face to completely wreck this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and it's almost like maybe he might be a better earthbender than Toph, but then again, she figured out metal bending. So
yeah, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, do you think Boomy would pick it up though?
What, metal
if
bending?
Boomy and Toph were to get together?
He'd figure out metal bending, I think. But he also had 100 years to be that good at earthbending.
Oh, yeah.
If Toph got that old, then I'm assuming...
I bet Toph would be better if she made it all the way to...
You have to go find great teachers to teach you these bending techniques as the Avatar. Of course, Aang learned from his... entire tribe. They're like, oh yeah, we're all airbenders. Yeah. We'll teach you how to airbend. And I also just think airbending is a cooler ability than waterbending. So that being Katara's main thing was like, Aang was just more fun to me. He was a kid. Fucking making a ball of air and just fucking running through people like a bowling ball always made me laugh.
Yeah, that is impressive.
For comedy connects more with my brain than the more serious stuff normally. So
fair enough.
I think that's another reason I thought Aang was just a better character in general. I was like, he made me laugh more. But that's why Sokka's probably my favorite.
Sokka is the best by far.
Yeah. Which there's good side characters in Korra, like the chick she ends up with.
Asami. Yeah,
yeah,
Asami's great. Bolin is great.
Bolin's awesome. Yeah, I like Bolin. And then
I loved that they let him like learn some of the lava bending and stuff.
That was awesome.
Plus, lava bending is so powerful.
I mean, fucking it's lava.
Yeah.
Like out of everything in Avatar and all the bendings, I'd say it's probably number 2. I think lightning bending is probably the strongest, just because lightning's pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I guess firebenders have lightning bending.
I guess what would be hotter? Is lava bending hotter, or is
lightning's definitely hotter?
Yeah, so
it's just that I'm not sure. So like, does lightning beat lava though? Because you can strike lava with lightning, and what's it going to do? Make it hotter?
I'm assuming if someone was to throw up a lava wall to protect themselves, and a firebender used lightning, it would go through it.
But it would be very non-conductive material. I mean, it's made of rock.
True.
So
I guess if it hits any of the rock,
yeah, it would be pretty insulating. I would think
it would stop it. But if there was a piece of lava that it went through, I think it would go through the actual lava.
Oh yeah, well then you also have to factor in the kinetic energy and stuff from the concussion, and that's gonna shake the lava around.
Yeah, that would probably. My guess is that there would be an impact if it hit the lava that kind of pushes them both back, because it's a lot of heat meeting a lot of heat, but also the lightning would probably go through it. Just I don't know, if it hit the rock part, it would definitely stop.
Yeah,
or shatter it.
And so,
there's that one.
But earthbenders have lava and metal,
they have metal
and combustion.
Yeah, combustion. Well, is combustion earthbending?
I'm pretty sure it's an earthbending subclass. Okay. Or sorry, not earthbending. Firebending.
Yeah,
so firebenders have lightning and lightning and I'm having a stroke on this podcast.
I'm stuttering a bunch, so I'm
like,
what the fuck?
But anyway, so firebenders have
Zelda right now.
But firebenders have the lightning and combustion, and earthbenders have the lava and metal, and waterbenders have blood.
Bloodbending's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
If you learn how to do it, it's just so messed up that they always outlaw it. They're like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see kind of why though, because it's probably pretty
who's going to get
painful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're able to control people, and it really hurts the target a lot. I mean, you can instantly kill people with it. It's like a instant kill kind of a thing, because I mean, you could just make their blood stop.
Yeah, or just yank it all out of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's pretty OP. And the airbenders just have airbending.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
Technically, I guess airbender could.
They can fly. They can
fly.
Potentially,
they
but that's
could
not.
Take the air out of somebody's lungs.
Oh yeah, like what's his name? Henry Rollins did. Zahir. That was the character's name.
Yes, Zahir.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many fucking characters in Avatar, too. And it's been so long since I've watched any. I mean, it was probably 5 years ago that I watched Korra.
Yeah, probably longer for regular Avatar.
So 6 or 7 years since I watched regular Avatar. Because when I was younger, I watched through all of The Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. And then when I didn't really get into anime until I started college. So, 2014.
Yeah.
So I started watching, I watched Dragon Ball Z first, went back and watched the original Dragon Ball, was watching all this stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go back and watch The Last Airbender. And then after Airbender, I was like, okay, well, now I have to watch Korra. And
yeah, and I like Korra quite a bit.
It was good. There's always part of me that hates when bad things happen to the character, like when she lost all her bending and had to learn airbending.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's like she's the Avatar, though.
Yeah.
And it's like she lost her connection, it's like, but when Aang lost his connection, to the spirit world or his Avatar state or whatever, he could still bend all 4 types. So that's what confused me about Korra. I was like, why did she have to learn airbending after that, but still don't have access to the other types?
I mean, I would assume
she would keep them, and
I would assume that the reason is because Aang's was more psychological.
Yeah, I guess it was more done to himself.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
Whereas hers was pretty literal.
Yeah, hers was pretty literal because hers was bloodbending that took it away.
Yeah, so
yeah, I guess that makes more sense, but it's still like, come on, she is the Avatar. I think the Avatar would just override that. It's like, because whenever it starts happening to Aang when he's older, it shows it in Korra when he's going after the guy who's using the bloodbending. Mm-hmm. After he runs away from that council meeting or whatever, and he chases after him in the Avatar state, and then he meets up with him, not in Avatar state anymore, and the guy starts using bloodbending on him, and he's all crunched up and fucked up, and then Avatar state activates completely out of it, completely in control, snaps back to normal, and just goes up and says, all right, you can't bend anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, that overrid bloodbending that was currently happening to him.
And I wonder if that's an airbender thing or an Avatar thing, the removing bending from people.
So he talked to that spirit guy, the turtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lion turtle. But they're the people that gave people the elements in the first place.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something any bender could learn how to do?
I think it's an Avatar thing.
Okay.
Because he talks about the history of the Avatar and stuff like that, and he says, okay, he's like, okay, so you being the Avatar, you have more connection to the spirit world and all bending in general. So that
you can find where the actual bending is,
you can
more
find
or less.
Yeah, so it's like he can feel the connection through people when he touches them, and specifically in the Avatar state, because whenever he does it, he glows, the Avatar tattoos. They glow. And he does that whole mouth open in the air and the light coming out of his mouth and eyes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got to be an Avatar thing, because it wouldn't just be an Airbender thing.
I wonder if he can awaken bending in people then. Because
cool.
in Korra they show that that's a thing that can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, with Boomy.
Yeah, well, Boomy and with several other people, where their bending was awakened because they had the latent potential.
Right. So it's
just never happened.
Could he have been like, "Hey, Sokka, here's bending"?
Now you're a water bender because you've got
bend.
the genetic. You know, your mom's got it, and I don't know what your dad was, but
I think his dad was just a warrior. I don't think he was a water bender.
It might, but he should still have DNA from the mom. So
yeah, and the waterbenders also have the ice bending. I mean, it's just water, but still.
Yeah.
that was always something like, that sucks that they have to have water nearby to do their thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty considerable weakness, but I guess it's not that hard to...
If you're out on the ocean or near a large body of water, then...
A waterbender that lives on in a coastal area is probably fine.
Yeah, and then Earthbender, they're fine most of the time until oh shit, we're in metal, but then Toph's like, oh, metal building.
Yeah, of course, that was another thing in Korra. They kind of revealed that they're still, the metal bending is controlling the small particulates, the impurities, essentially, in the metal.
So
because they can't bend, platinum.
Yeah,
because it's a pure platinum. So.
Yeah, so, I'm guessing that no one would be able to bend platinum at all.
I mean, maybe. If anyone could figure it out, it'd be Toph, probably.
Yeah, she's the one who figured out metal bending in the first place. Which she's probably the only person who could figure it out because of the way she, interacts with the Earth, being blind and everything. Because she's the one
aware that the Earth is in
the
metal.
Yeah, there's Earth in this. There's I can use this, and then just burst through the door.
Oh man, I love when she metal suited up herself, just flying around, destroying the Fire Nation
Sokka,
blimps.
I think she's my favorite character, just because she was from the gate a badass.
I mean, Toph's really solid.
And her jokes were always good too, just fucking with the other people. Look, I found it, guys, and they all look, and it's just
guys.
Yeah, she's like, I'm blind as fuck. Why did you believe that?
I mean, it's hilarious. That's if you're you got to make those kind of jokes if you're a blind person, 100%,
right? Yeah, and then Korra being able to recognize the old crew was also pretty awesome, just because of being the Avatar. She's like, oh, I've met this person before.
Oh, yeah.
Like when she met Katara, and specifically Toph was like...
Well, Toph was really impactful to one of the Avatars in the past life, though. So.
And Toph also knew...
Not that Katara wasn't, but...
That Korra was the Avatar before she even got very close. She could just immediately tell, hey, what's up, Twinkle
Toes? That's an Avatar.
Yeah. Hey, I know you.
Yep. That was funny, calling her Twinkle Toes.
And then Zuko, of course, just being Zuko and being awesome. So.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks that he died so young, but, he was frozen in ice for 100 years.
Yeah, so kind of.
Technically pretty old.
Yeah. I was God, he's the longest-lived Avatar ever.
Yeah, he was 63 years old when he died.
Which means he lived, another 52?
He lived another 52 years afterwards. So, I mean, still a decent amount of time, but he was dead for, a while when Legend of Korra started, so, which...
I mean, the Avatar's born shortly after the last one dies, right?
I think it's within,
No way, didn't they say that Aang knew about Korra? Wouldn't that mean that they have to coexist? Is that even possible, or is that probably just a writing thing?
I don't think they're supposed to coexist. So I'll have to look at that.
But no, I think if maybe he was just setting future plans. They would have known that it was going to be a waterbender next in the cycle, so that wouldn't be an issue. But yeah, Aang has to have been dead for at least 17, 18 years for Korra, because she was in her teens, mid to late teens at the start of the show, right?
Right. Yeah, she's at the start of the show. I think she's definitely around that age. So he's at least dead for that long. So, let's see. This person is saying... Apparently Kyoshi lived to be over 300 years old.
Oh, so...
As an earthbender. Just regular earthbender. Wasn't frozen in ice, nothing.
Just long
So I think an avatar can just live longer. Aang being frozen in ice for 100 years probably fucked with his health. I would imagine. Is how they explained it. Okay, someone says slight correction, 230 years for Kyoshi.
Still. Pretty impressive lifespan. So, in the episode The Avatar and the Fire Lord, when Roku dies, you immediately hear baby Aang crying and it cuts to a newborn Airbender baby. So, I think the Avatar spirit is supposed to happen right afterwards, like immediately. Okay, which means Aang's been dead for 20-ish years.
Yeah, so that means...
It started Legend of Korra.
Which I don't know if the Avatar spirit travels at like instant speed or what, but it's probably within the same day, is my guess.
I would imagine.
Like the day that the Avatar dies, the next Avatar is born. And then they just have to figure out who that Avatar is whenever it's like... Because I think the person who is the Avatar knows. Like,
I don't know if they're born knowing. I know Korra figured it out. And
Korra figured it out because she's like, quick. I can water bend, and I can fire bend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
I think, she learned water bending first because she's a water bender.
Yeah, and then fire bending. She actually picked up water, fire, and earth real easy, if I remember right, and then air.
Yes, air
was a real block for her.
Air she couldn't learn because it's personality based. Mm-hmm. Like earth bending was the hardest for Aang because he was the more peaceful, go with the flow kind of thing. And earth is very like, stand your fucking ground. Do your thing. You have to, set your foot down.
Hard,
solidarity. And then for Korra, it was very much she is more suited for that kind of style of fighting.
Yeah, Earth probably suited her just fine.
Like, she almost has more of a personality of a earth or firebender over a waterbender, even. Like, just how she is.
Yeah.
Because she was like... Yeah, on the fucking Avatar.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I think I'm torn between magma or, like, lava or lightning bending as the strongest, secondary one.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't
think,
really decide either.
So I think maybe for, like, pinpoint fighting, if you're fighting, like, one-on-one, then lightning probably has more advantage because you can do much greater distance. Faster. Yeah, much faster. But if you're talking about sheer destructive potential, lava bending probably has it beat because you could...
Just fucking crowd control.
Yeah, well, and, like, you've seen in Korra, you can just turn a mountain into lava if you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. And
then
it's a good thing Bolin
mountain and everyone in it's dying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I don't like this mountain. I'm gonna make it my strongest weapon.
Melt this mountain.
Yeah, melt it down, and boom, we have lava.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting that fire has. I guess it makes sense. Fire is probably the most raw, like damage power thing of the bending. There we go.
Yeah.
It's probably got the highest base damage output.
Yeah, because Earth is definitely
following behind it.
Earth is right behind it. But it's also the most defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was something that was said in Korra about the spirit stuff that definitely is like, oh, okay, yeah, because what was it? There was the two spirits. There was like the anti-avatar, like the dark one, the dark avatar.
Was it Rava and Vatu or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Because it's like, okay, this one is what made the avatar, the dark one. Mm-hmm. I mean, Korra had to fight it, She fought it, which, ain't gonna do.
I kind of wondered if they hadn't properly, like, imprisoned the spirit the way they did, if they just killed Unalaq. Mm-hmm. Do you think there would have been, like, a dark avatar cycle started?
Probably.
And if that's the case, would it only have been waterbenders? Because that's all Unalaq was.
Was the first bender
The first bender, technically he was a firebender, but he did the whole thing where he went around to the different lion turtles and got every kind of bending. And it was after that he had fused with the good spirit and the whole reincarnation cycle started. So he's taking all four kinds of bending with it every time.
I think he probably would have been just a waterbender.
So the dark avatar would have been water only.
Would have been a waterbender, unless he went around to the lion turtles and learned the other bending. One of the dark avatars. What they would have had to have gone and learned it.
Yeah, which would have been a whole thing.
And then another question is, would the Lion Turtles teach the Dark Avatar?
Yeah, because they seem to be kind of leaning on the side of good.
Yeah, I think they're more neutral, but because the guy who was learning was more neutral than anything. He wasn't necessarily good, but he wasn't evil.
Yeah, well, he was doing it for a cause.
Than anything. He was doing it for a cause. Which, I mean, if the Dark Avatar is like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for a cause.
He might spin it in the way of like protecting people or saving the world, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So then it would
or
be down
could
to,
the
like,
Dark
Lion
Avatar
Turtles
be
where
like,
they know.
yeah, I'm the Avatar, but not say that they're the Dark Avatar and learn that way. But I would
think
think the Lion Turtles could be like, oh, no,
be able
you're
to
the
see,
Dark
like,
Avatar.
that's the dark
Yeah,
spirit
you're the Dark
you got
Avatar.
going on in you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think they would teach them.
Think so?
I think they would. Just because they are, them being neutral beings and ones who don't necessarily, they didn't tend to like humans before, So
they're not
well, we taught
particularly interested in defending them.
Yeah, it's like, well, we taught the other Avatar, might as well teach this one.
To be fair, I guess.
Yeah, they'd want to balance things out, I think. But yeah, killing the Dark, whichever one he was, because I forget their names. I've watched Airbender 3 times. I watched Korra once.
I think I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm pretty sure his name was Unalaq.
I think it is Unalaq. I think you're right. That sounds right. And then I think it is Vatu.
Yeah.
Vatu and Unalaq. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Which was Unalaq were they red or like more of a reddish purple? I can't remember.
I think the one
like
the Dark Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Dark Spirit is like black with purple highlights or something like that, and like a red eye. I think they both had a red eye. I think they both looked like eyes. Kite spirit type things.
Yeah, they looked very kite-ish. Yeah, that's for sure. And they were fucking huge too.
Yeah, well, they could be small though.
They could, yeah. No, they made themselves small.
They did.
Yeah. Hell, one of them became, connected to one human spirit and became, an avatar.
Yeah.
It's just a fusion of one human and,
just the spirits, I guess.
Very specific spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's my shoelace, buddy.
But that seems like about the time we were shooting for. Seems like a natural stopping point, right?
Yeah, I think we can call it here.
But everyone in the comments, definitely let us know.
Yeah, which avatar do you prefer?
Yeah, definitely. And are we right about the bending? Which secondary bending is strongest?
Yes, that too.
If you disagree about that, definitely let us know. Tell us why, for sure.
Because, there's also the Armament for Blood bending still, because that's pretty OP.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
That one's the only one that's outlawed, so...
Yeah, there could be a reason there.
Yeah, could be a reason. And
but anyway, yeah. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe if you want. We can come back here, talk about more random stuff.
Yes, and with the new series of Avatar, maybe people's opinions will change on Aang. Like, oh, maybe he ends up doing more.
Maybe, we'll see.
And also, when there's a new bender with the new Avatar with the Earthbender, hey, maybe that guy.
Hey, maybe that person will take the
maybe that guy will be the coolest Avatar ever. It's like if we're going through all avatars, then I think everyone can agree it's Kyoshi. But
yeah, all the avatars count to Kyoshi. But
yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and see ya.